Hello everyone, so I'm doing my presentation on Smalltalk on Lamont. So this is Lamont right here, as you can see. Anything that's within the red is Lamont. Let me do the satellite view. So yes, Lamont is around a lot of fields. So there's a lot of farm workers that live in Lamont. Do a little close up. So here's the community, here's the houses. So I actually did a video on Root Beer King. Fiesta Market. Frosty King and AM/PM or Arco. Just because from talking to the locals, they said that those are kind of like the important places or restaurants that everyone goes to in Lamont. And just popular places for people in Lamont. Let's go a little bit up north. Here is Mount Lee Middle School. So here's the parking lot. Here's the classrooms. The gymnasium is this one right here. The basketball courts. And normally this is a soccer field, and right now it's all green. Here shows as brown, but it's currently green right now. So this is a map of Lamont. Okay, so normally all the students come in here. This is the entrance where they come into the school. There's I believe 30 classes, a cafeteria, a gymnasium, and a soccer field. So on the right side is where they do all their janitor work. And then on my left side is where there's a classroom. So the first three here are classrooms. The first two are special education classrooms. And then third classroom until the two classes right there are science. We're in the science department. And then in the middle right here is where they have the library at. It's a really small campus, very nice school. So you can see here the cafeteria. This is the back room of the cafeteria. Quad. Across from the quad is the gymnasium. So currently they actually have the grass blocked because when graduation happens, which is late May, they want to start early and hope that the whole grass stays green. So here's the quad, the gymnasium. So over here is the soccer fields. There's actually about 2 soccer fields, and every weekend they have tournaments here, not just for the school, but different leagues. They just pay the school to hold the tournaments, and they do the tournaments here. Here are the classrooms. There's about 30 classrooms. These two offices here. So right around here are, it's called the Oasis Conference and the Oasis Counseling Office. So this section right here is where students who have behavior issues or just need to talk to a counselor, they come here. In this office, not only is a counselor here, but also sometimes American Corps. They come here and they just hang out with students, those who have behavior problems or problems at home. They come here and they talk to them and try to make their day a lot better. Like that. So again, there's about 30 classrooms. In this hall is nothing but math. Walking right here. So these 3 classrooms here are language arts. Language arts has a lot of classrooms here in this school. These 3 are the 7th grade language arts. Here's the band room. Right here. The band teacher's not here today, so I couldn't get access in there. This is 8th grade language arts, and these 3 buildings across are math classrooms. And again, don't have access, but this is actually the fitness room. They actually created this room last year, so this is the newest classroom that they built. And that is Mount V. Alright, coming in here is a history class for 7th and 8th grade. There are the desks, the teacher's desk. This is where they get the books, and this little section here is where, at least for this teacher, that they turn in all their classwork. So you can see this classroom is very well designed. He puts in a lot of work. There's his favorite teams, players. And what they did in all the schools here in Lamont School District is that they added a Promethean. On the side, I don't want to see myself. So this is the newest and latest technology that they got. It's a Promethean that lets them do everything. It's basically a computer and a big screen, which you can either connect it to the computer for your personal stuff, or you can do everything here. So this is where mostly all the residents of Lamont and students hang out after school or the weekend. It's a restaurant called Ruby King. It's been here since the 1950s, and this is everyone's go-to spot as far as to get a burger, a shake, chicken sandwich. And Yelp and Google have really high ratings, almost 5 stars. And any resident, and anytime you want to come to Lamont, and if you ask any resident where's the best place to eat, they will recommend this place, Burger King. This is there's soccer fields, playgrounds, and a basketball court. Every evening there's always students here playing soccer field. See the soccer goalies? Play basketball. Then every weekend you have many families have barbecues here, soccer tournaments. It's a good, this is one of the nicest parts here in Lamont. And then on this side, this is one of the elementary schools. It's called Alicante Elementary School. So this is 1K through 6. According to some of the administrators that work at the school, they have told me that they have the 2nd largest population of students here of all of the state of California, as far as K through 6. So this is one of the few markets here in Lamont. There's about 4, but this is the most popular one and actually the biggest venue. It's called Fiesta Market. It used to be called Apple Market for a long time, but 6 years ago they changed owners and they changed it to Fiesta Market. Their competitor was County Fair Market that has been around since the 60s. However, that company closed down back in 2015, and this market stayed alive and is the only one here in Lamont. So I can guarantee you see everyone here in this market. from old friends, students, or family members. You see everyone in this market. And even though this is the only good market here in Lamont, the prices are still affordable and pretty cheap, so that's why many people come here. However, one complaint that I have here, what the residents have told me, is that it's always busy. This is one of the gas stations that Lamont has. It's AM PM. Now, two reasons why I posted this in the video. One, it's the cheapest gas here in Lamont. The other gas stations are over $3. So people like to come to this AM PM. And plus, straight ahead, where, I don't know if you can see it, but the stoplight is that there's where Mountain View is. So many of the students that go to the school come walking from there to their homes, always stop by here in AM PM to buy either snacks, goodies, drinks, coffee, whatever they buy, and then they go home. Another popular place here is Frosty King. Now the reason why I'm shooting it this far is because when I tried to take a closer look and to shoot the video closer to the location, the owner was there and did not give me permission. So this has been around in the 80s, another popular place. Just as popular as Root Beer King, but not as good as Root Beer King. And like I said, since it's closer to the campus, a lot of people would walk here and buy food, drinks, and there's a special here that is, I think if you buy a large drink and some fries, it is $3 for Mountain View students. So that's why a lot of students like to come here. So I decided to interview a parent for my interview. What's your name, Miss?
Maria Salazar.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
I'm a child care provider.
And you live in Lamont, right?
Yes,
How long have you lived in Lamont?
31 years.
Okay, and can you tell me about Lamont? What is Lamont in your words?
I can tell you that Lamont is in a small town. It's not pretty, but it has all the services you need to live here. I have lived 31 years here in Lamont, and there is a lot of work for me. And this is something that I like about Lamont. Around Lamont, there are a lot of jobs for people who works in the fields as well. There are fruit and vegetable companies who have permanent and seasonal jobs. And you know, this is a good factor for my job. So I like Lamont.
Okay. I have another question to ask you. What do you think about the education here in Lamont as far as Lamont School District? What's your opinion or your input about it?
I like the Lamont schools. I have 3 children who they study here in Lamont School, and I am very satisfied with that because they finish their education at university, as even in the master's degrees. And you know, the foundation education of my kids were here in Lamont schools.
So right now the kids that you are taking care of, you're like a second parent, and from what you told me, you're involved in their education. Thus far, how do you like the education that they're receiving from Lamont School District?
Currently, Lamont schools have improved a lot because today they have more resources. This means there are more staff as well as more specialists and different needs that the children may have, and thus help them for better education. As well, they have more material resources. I mean, like a technology, more technology for teachers and students. And I think the education in Lamont School have improved a lot, definitely.